Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, Pop Culture Minefield proudly brings to you its PCM Dork Side of the Ring! The Dork Knight, Danny Ballard, the Atmosphere, Joe Rivers, and the Broad Street Bully, Johnny Rock! And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya! Suck it! Good morning. How are all you guys, gals, and non-binary pals doing out there? Thanks for joining us.
It's afternoon where I'm at, pal, and I'm doing great. How about you?
Awesome. No, I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You guys, this is episode 2 of Dork Side of the Ring. Thank you all for joining us so far in the chat. We've got Krampus Jeebus, my mom, Penny, which still sounds weird saying Penny, and Zax. So we'll get some more people joining us here soon, I'm sure. Appreciate everyone. I'd like to
watch Zach's stream last night. Enjoyed the heck out of it. It was good.
Right on. So let's do a little, John, move Joe where Burke is. Like swap those two for me. That way we can have it in the right order. And so, yeah, I'd like to introduce. Okay, we'll now swap Burke and Johnny. Anyway,
there we go. Yeah.
I'd like to introduce my.
Where'd we go?
I am the least important here. Let's do this.
Oh well. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Technical difficulties. We're still growing pains, guys.
Yeah, it's the second episode. It's fine.
Yeah. So I'd like to introduce my co-host, Joe, the mighty JoesAtmosfere. Say hi, Joe.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
And then, of course, our permanent panelist here, Johnny Rock.
It's the whole damn show up in the house.
Right on. And then our special guest this week, our guest panelist, is Burke Lant. And that's your Twitter handle, right, buddy?
And Twitter, Instagram. Yep.
Yeah. So
maybe
Burke,
soon to be Mastodon and Hive or whatever else is the next cool thing. We'll see.
We'll see. Right on. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and your wrestling story, if you will, when you started watching it and what you watch, what you like, things like that. You know.
Yeah. So, mine started as any young, late Generation X. I'm like, we're in between, right? The millennials and the Generation X and all that stuff. But born in '82, so I think I started watching right when it was the rise and like the biggest portion of Macho Man, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, that whole thing, and then going through the WWF, WCW rivalry. So trying to watch both Raw and Nitro at the same time, flipping between both channels, and then that put me at the prime age, for an angsty, horny young teenage boy watching the Attitude Era, and then started getting into my career around like 2002 and stopped watching WWE and wrestling altogether. And right before the pandemic, we'll talk about it probably a little bit later in the show, but I started I think I just stumbled upon AEW.
Might have been the same way I did through Roland at the comic shop.
And it could have been and Melanie and so I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And I saw a very talented wrestler, Orange Cassidy, do his little stick of his hand in his pocket. And I was like, this is pure entertainment. And I never looked back. I've been watching AEW essentially almost every Wednesday, every Friday.
You and I, didn't we go to this show together?
Not Double or Nothing. We went to the Dynamite before Double or Nothing.
You and I went to the Dynamite before, then Roland and I went to Double or Nothing. Okay.
And then I went to Rampage, but I didn't go to Double or Nothing. So I went to Dynamite and Rampage. But our Dynamite show was the best, almost one of the best things I've ever been to.
Dude, it was awesome, and we had fucking amazing seats, dude. We were so close. That was so
a row behind the gate. So
I remember you texted me from where you were sitting, and I was like up in the rafters, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. So you mentioned you got out in 2002 because of your career. You know, I don't want to. You know how much of a man crush I have on you. I don't want to blow you live on air. So why don't you tell everybody what you do? Because you are a true hero, sir.
Oh, well, thank you. So I got into the fire service. I've been a firefighter paramedic since 2001, and currently work in the Las Vegas Valley. I'm an engineer, which means I drive the fire engine, and I've been doing that since 2007. So, but yeah, so all the dudes think it's funny. They'll be like, "Oh, did you watch this?" And I was like, and most of the time, all they know is WWE, and I'd be like, "Sorry guys, I don't watch WWE. I only watch AEW." So,
well, maybe after today's show, we might be able to change your mind. Triple H has kind of righted the ship, so to speak. It's gotten a lot better.
It's getting there. Yes,
yeah,
it's definitely better than it has been in the last few years of the Vince McMahon era. Yes.
Yeah. Well, before I get into covering this week's shows, do either of you have any questions for Burke, or want to talk a little bit more to Burke before we get into?
I just want to hats off to you, man. I know several firefighters. Appreciate what you do, dude. For sure.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I love what I do. So everyone says, "Hey, thanks for what you do." Is like, I personally did it for a few years as a volunteer without getting paid, and so it's just something that I love doing, and would not want to do anything else. So I appreciate it too.
Yeah, no, Burke's a great guy. Back when I was before my heart attack, I used to be a hefty boy, and Burke and I used to work out together. And this is probably like 2012, I think, end of 2012. And I shit you not, guys. When we were in the gym together, I would hear the theme song to He-Man in my mind while I'm watching this dude pump iron. It's crazy.
Yeah, in my younger years, yeah.
But okay, so we've got some new people in the chat. Do I want to give a shout out to? Thank you very much, Alex Moore, my concubine Anima Confusa. I'm surprised you were so late, but that's okay. Fat Steven, wow, you're here, Fat Steven. Right on, brother. Thanks for checking out the show and the support. Mark, the infinitely tired. Daryl, the derelict, AFK Bard, and Arlena's Jester of Sin. So thank you guys for joining us in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to. I don't even know if we have super chats on. If we do, cool. If not, just throw it in the chat and we'll answer any questions.
Danny, check your mic, man. You've got a little bit of an echo, and it sounds like you're 5 miles away from it.
Okay, that's what I was worried about because.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You're going to have to be on top of it. You sound a lot better that way.
Yep. Get a little closer.
Yeah, a little closer, baby. A little closer.
Make it intimate.
My nephew's already 2? Damn, I didn't know that. Hey, War Monkey. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. So, yeah, what I was going to say was if anybody has any questions about anything, feel free to throw it in the chat. If again, we're new. If we have super chats, that's cool too. I'm sure Gerry will appreciate it. Remember, starting in 3 weeks, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks, we will be simulcasting on KGRA's network, the global radio network with KGRA, and they'll be providing us with. Gerry showed us some really cool. He made some bumpers for the ads that are just hilarious.
Cool.
So we'll be starting that in a few weeks, but today. We're going to start off with kind of recapping the week's shows, and I'll try to do this as quickly as I can. This week had a ton of wrestling.
Yeah.
So we start the week off with Monday Night Raw, and the Bloodline is my favorite thing going right now. They were prominently featured on both Raw and SmackDown. They defended their titles on both shows. They opened up Monday Night Raw. Originally, they were supposed to fight. The Usos were supposed to take on Matt Riddle and Elias, but while Riddle was being a goofball backstage on his scooter and pissed off the Usos, poor Elias got his ass beat for it.
Yeah, he steps off the bus and gets housed by the Bloodline in full force.
Yeah, so
minus Roman, right?
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not feeling the whole Riddle Elias tandem. To me, Randy Orton can't get back quick enough because.
Well, he might not come back. He had his back surgery. I don't know if you heard about this, and it was.
No.
Yeah, no, it was a serious injury. So he's
This past injury for him has been really rough on him, and
Yeah.
yeah, we may not see him again for a long
Yeah.
time.
Well, I
We
mean,
may not
Randy's
see him again.
Randy's been such an Iron Man for the better part of almost 20 years, so I'd really hope that this
Yeah.
isn't the end of his career.
no Randy's great, and I actually have an Arcade Bros shirt. I went to
You do see
SummerSlam.
what I got on.
Yeah, I got the Arcade Bro 420 shirt.
Yeah,
I got the Viper shirt on today.
he's got the Viper shirt. So yeah, I'm a huge. But they wrote Riddle off the show, which I'll get to in a little bit. But since Elias got his ass whooped, Riddle brings out KO instead. We are Kevin Owens, which is I love Kevin Owens.
How can you not?
I know, right? This match that opened the show, the Bloodline just beat the ever living shit out of Matt Riddle. I mean, there's like they wrote him off TV basically. 'Cause at the end, Solo Sikoa does the Umaga spike, and they do the whole thing with the stretcher, the neck brace. So they've written him off TV for a while. So Johnny, you're not gonna have to worry about this Elias Riddle thing anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Not going to see that anymore. Mm-mm.
So then we find out right after that match, while they're carting Riddle away, they tell us that Drew McIntyre is not medically cleared to tag with Sheamus to fight the Usos on SmackDown. So Sheamus is going to partner up with his buddy Butch.
Which is, in my opinion, a much better tandem. I
Yeah.
think the Brawling Brutes overall are just have so much chemistry together. And I've always been a huge Pete Dunne fan.
Oh yeah, Pete Dunne. For those who don't know,
I will never call him Butch.
Yeah, he's Pete Dunne.
In the words of Kyle O'Reilly, he will always be Peter Dune.
Right.
I saw a story earlier today, just to interject, that one of the dream bookings would be when Regal is allowed to be back on TV, him managing that outfit, the Brawling Brutes.
That would be great. Oh my God.
It's a fantasy booking, but
well, hey, Six joined the chat. Thanks for joining us, Six. I appreciate everybody. Looks like we got about 12 people watching, but 15 likes, so appreciate that. If you don't already, please hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, thumbs up, all that good jazz. Share us out to any other wrestling fans you might know who'd be interested in watching a couple middle-aged white dudes pontificate on wrestling.
Maybe 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So next, I tell you what, one of my favorite things about this Triple H era is the attention he's giving the women. The women are having more matches. They're having longer matches, and they're main eventing more.
And he's bringing in a lot of released women too.
Yeah, which is great. So the first, this show had 2 triple threat matches to kind of determine who's going to be the number 1 contender. So
it's like an ad hoc tournament to see who's going to take on.
Yeah. So we've got the first triple threat match was Bayley, Asuka, and Rhea Ripley. Which, oh my God, Sheamus has this YouTube show where he does like workouts and stuff with different. I forget the name of it, but I watched his episode with Rhea Ripley that just dropped the other day. My God, that woman is fucking fine. Oh my God. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And the crazy thing is, she's my son's age, so I feel kind of creepy. It's like,
and she is, look, she's somebody I wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley.
That's for sure.
Girl will bust you up. I mean,
dude, she's jacked. The workout she did with Sheamus, they called it the Nightmare Arm Workout. It was arm day. And dude, it was like, when she was getting her pump on, her fucking biceps are huge, man. Like, because like when you work out,
you saw her standing toe to toe with Becky after the Bayley promo, and my God, she towers over her.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Rhea Ripley did not win. She took some crazy, stupid somersault off the steps and missed and wiped herself out, which gave Bayley the opportunity to rose plant Asuka. And I mean, Bayley's all right and all, but we've seen her go against Bianca Belair a few times already. I mean, I kind of, it is what it is. What'd you guys think of that? For those of you who watch, what'd you guys think of this first triple threat?
Shortchanged.
Yeah.
Shortchanged. I want to see. I wanted to see the standoff we saw. I want to see Becky and Ripley go at it.
Yeah. I know. So now we have the visionary, the revolutionary, the guy, Seth Rollins comes out.
Don't forget about what was going on backstage now.
What's that?
The poker tournament.
Oh God, Jesus! Yeah, it's straight out of the Attitude Era. Yeah, so there is I talk about a little bit later.
You
but
have to lay the groundwork.
JBL. Hey, this is why you're such a good co-host, buddy. So yeah, JBL has got this poker tournament going on in the back that basically is they end up using as excuses for matches, and then that's when I was going to bring it up. But he's right. So like they set it up in between these segments. And who we got back? The best part of it was oh God, Otis. Otis was fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he was just, that dude is so funny. And so we've got Parrot Head.
I was missing the door. I mean, it wasn't quite Attitude Era poker game. I was missing the
because there was and no Ron Simmons, which is
damn.
So then we get to So then we get to Rollins, who's over. I mean, for a heel, that dude is like, the fans love him now.
He's more in the midst of a babyface turn. He's definitely a tweener these days.
Yeah,
I think they intended the last premium live event to be a double turn for him, and it just hasn't quite stuck the landing yet.
Where you got the mic at, bud? I think you need a little bit closer to you here. So
me?
Yeah. I don't know, because I really like Lashley a lot too. And so this is a segment where, basically they're griping over the U.S. title match from last week where Theory just fell on him and won.
and Lashley is outgunned on the mic as usual. He just knocks the shit out of Seth. And
since we have heel Lashley again, can we just put him back with MVP and Omos and Reform?
Right?
I was just about to say I missed the Hurt Business. I liked the dynamic of MVP and Lashley. And those other two guys, they're not doing anything, like Shelton Benjamin and Cedric, what's his name? Alexander, I think.
Cedric Alexander. They made great cronies.
Yeah, but they are grossly underused. I mean, they're both good performers in the ring. But my favorite part about this was basically Seth Rollins just roasting Lashley about how what was that? Did I miss something?
Your boss just popped in here, man.
Yeah, I just popped in to watch, and fucking John adds me, and I'm like, no.
Well, it's good to see you, boss. Tweet us out, man. I don't think you did that yet. I mean,
you got a super chat.
I woke up a little bit ago, and I got into a conversation.
First super chat ever.
Holy shit!
In Dork Side of the Ring from Zax.
Yeah.
Has there been anyone better than Winnipeg's 52-year-old Chris Jericho in the past year? We will definitely get to that. No, Jericho.
Yeah, I'm bouncing out. I just want to wish you a happy show.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
See you, Gary.
I'm going to fuck off now. See you, Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Good, man. Bye.
Yeah, man, when we get into the AEW, we'll definitely, but Chris Jericho's been having, like, it's insane to be that old, and arguably one of the best, if not the best
himself, man. Just
of his life. It. Yeah, no, he really does. Yeah, Jericho is the GOAT. Wild Weasel, welcome to the show. Thanks so much.
I am Wild Weasel.
Oh, that's you? Oh, okay, smart ass. Right. Well, welcome to the show.
You know I'm the biggest Jericho mark out there. Anybody putting Chris Jericho over, I'm going to respond to.
Come on.
So Lashley gets butthurt over being called jealous of Brock Lesnar, even though they're 1-1. Like they are. They got to have the rubber match. Yeah, they need to have a rubber match. But so that didn't go very well, and so now we get Austin Theory, because of course we do, because that's what they're all arguing about, is the U.S. title, and he's in the back whining to Byron Saxton when Mustafa Ali shows up, and I don't get why. This was a lazy setup for me. They're setting up a match for later for the title, but Ali's just been losing. Like I can't even remember the last time he won a match.
I can't either.
You know, so anyways, he challenges Theory, and they set that up for later. And now we're back to the poker tournament thingy. And
one more thing before we get too far away from Seth.
Yeah.
I really don't care what they do with him. Just get him out of those silly ass clothes, man. He looks like Don Johnson on acid during Miami Vice days. It's ridiculous. I think
that's
he's
part
so
of the
much
appeal.
better than that, man.
I know, but it's part of the appeal. He's such a fucking clown. It's great.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a thing, Burke, in case you're wondering. So hashtag backdoor Gerry. Anytime somebody says backdoor or whatever, we get a cute little backdoor video.
We get the backdoor popped. Yeah.
Anyway. Where was I? Poker. Oh yeah. This just sets up which one was this? This was
6-man tag.
Yeah. So Dexter Loomis is winning. And Baron Corbin's getting pissed and calling him a cheater or whatever.
Yep.
Planting little bitty seeds there. Then Tozawa beats Dominic in a hand, and then Dominic tries to take the money, and then that sets up a match between those two for later.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, before I move on to the next match, does that sound about right? Anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, you're on point now. Yeah.
All right. So the next match is the U.S. title match that was set up between Theory and Ali, and the stipulation is if Ali loses, he doesn't get another shot at Austin Theory's U.S. title. And so they have a pretty decent match. And then for some reason, after about 8 minutes, Dolph Ziggler decides to come out, super kick Theory in the face. So Theory wins via DQ, and it ruins Ali's chances of becoming a champ. But then Theory beats the shit out of both of them. What did you guys think about this? It was about maybe 10 minutes total.
I'm not a fan of Theory anyway, so yeah,
I'm
tuned out.
See, I am. I got to take the con because I was a big fan of Austin Theory when he was on the Indies. Like, was it Progress or Evolve that he really make? I think it was Evolve. This kid does have it all. Like, he's got a very, very high ceiling, and I really look forward to where they push his career. I'm glad the Triple H era has got him back on track, because under Vince, they were making him look like a goof.
That's probably why I don't like him.
Yeah. I'm glad he's kind of dropped the whole selfie gimmick. It seems like he's not doing that anymore.
Yeah, only Tyler Breeze should be doing that.
Yeah, or what's that YouTuber? Oh my God, I'm blanking. The one
Logan
that just
Paul?
Yeah, or Logan Paul. That shit was awesome.
Paul, yeah.
When he did the splash onto Roman Reigns and he live streamed it, and that was
yeah.
So now we go back to the.
That was actually like that video went like super viral. Like it was worldwide. It was like one of the biggest things on Instagram.
Yeah. No, it was live. He's like, fuck it, we'll do it live. Has Dork, War Monkey. I have been practicing. Thank you very much, my buddy. After I nearly gave Gerry a heart attack on one of his shows, Paulie, the Latino Slant, was kind enough to take me under his wing, and we had a nice meeting, and he gave me a lot of advice, and I'm trying to follow it. So I'm glad that it's being noticed. So back to the poker tournament. We're supposed to believe the Miz is broke. This is the most ridiculous thing they've ever done. He's Miz, like we've seen his life on Miz and Mrs.
My wife and I watched that show.
We know he's got a mansion. We know he's super rich. And he's trying to say he lost all of his money in this cryptocurrency debacle thing. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I think this is ridiculous.
I think storyline. Yes.
I think he should take some investment advice from Cameron Grimes.
To the moon, baby.
To the
Happy
moon.
Corbin, maybe, huh? Yeah.
Wasn't
he the last one that went broke? Right.
I really miss sad sack broke ass
bum ass Corbin. Yeah,
bum ass Corbin.
Yeah, that might be my favorite iteration of Baron Corbin.
They could have carried that.
Lone
on so
Wolf
much
was
longer.
the best. They ruined it when they cut his hair. Okay,
well, he was going bald, man.
Off.
You gotta just embrace it. The funny thing about it is he tries to use it. Miz tries to use his Rolex to buy into the game, And JBL calls him out on it. Well, that's not real because it's ticking in the secondhand glides on a Rolex. You can get out of here. So they're just, I don't know what they're doing with the Miz, but then once they go back into the poker room, we see that so Baron cheats because some cards fall out of his sleeve when he goes to pull in the pot, and that sets up a match. But it led to a very amusing JBL just melting down, telling everybody to get the hell out.
Yep.
And then for some reason, everybody just leaves all the money there. So Dexter Loomis and Johnny Gargano just take all the money and leave. But thankfully, that ended this ongoing poker thing. You guys have anything else you want to say about this poker stuff? I mean,
yeah, you were right on your first comment on it. Straight out of the Attitude Era. Silliness, man. Silly
Minus
stuff.
a door. Minus a door.
Minus the door.
You know, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have ongoing storyline, have it do something else, but not that. That's
yeah.
I do have a great way to get the Miz back over.
How's that?
Re-sign John Morrison.
Yeah.
Or Damian Sandow, either one of them.
Where's he at now? Because like
NWA, he's in NWA.
He is okay. All right, because he was in AEW for a cup of coffee, wasn't he? Like he came.
Not long.
He was like.
No,
he went by
NWA for
Johnny Elite. Yeah, but he made an appearance. I remember him going by Johnny Elite, which I thought was funny. McQueen, welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Where were we? Oh, next segment's just a Bianca Belair interview. The problem with Raw is it's 3 hours, so they got a lot of useless crap.
Did you already go over the 6-man tag they had? Baron Corbin?
No, that's after. That's when it was. That's after the Bianca Belair thing.
I typically watch the hour or the shortened Hulu recap.
I was fixing to say some of it must be out of sync because
Well, no, I mean I'm definitely going in order here. I was very meticulous.
You go, man. You go. Yeah.
So now this is what I call the poker match, where we got AJ and the OC versus Baron Corbin. And I don't know. I mean, AJ's phenomenal, pun intended, and he wins the match. What do you? It sounds like you got more to say about it than I do because I wrote literally 2 lines. So it's like the typical AJ match.
Yes, it was a typical AJ match, and I dig AJ. I'm glad to see him win, but yeah, it wasn't. The whole thing to me is I just every time I watch Baron Corbin, it just breaks my heart.
So.
The guy is a really good performer, and I've seen him do much better stuff. And they're just not using him right. It breaks my heart, man.
He still has one of the best finishers in the game, though.
He does.
Dude, he's got one of the most protected. Has anybody? I think it's only been kicked out of one time.
One time, and I can't remember who it was, but
was it Balor? Was it Balor that kicked out of the end of the game?
I can't remember.
No, I don't think so.
Anybody in the chat knows, let us know because I just because it is the most protected finisher, I think.
Absolutely.
Easily in WWE. We can talk about Kenny Omega in a minute.
I like the deep 6 too, though. His moveset is awesome, and the way he goes right around the ring post when he slides out, and goes right back in. I mean, I'm sorry, I love the guy. I really wish they'd give him
a push
of some kind. So yeah.
Well, the next thing, and this is what I love about stuff like yes, 6, you are listening to a wrestling live stream. And guys, Burke's not shy by any stretch of the imagination. He just doesn't watch WWE. So once we start talking about AEW, I'm sure
which is coming
and,
as quickly as possible because really Raw is the second-rate show now on.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to interrupt anything. I was like, I have no idea who these people are. I have no idea what's going on. But then as brought up, was like, oh, there's a highlight show on Hulu or something. It's like, I have Hulu. I mean, I could watch a highlight show.
I think they bake it down to an hour or something like that.
Well, it's more of like they shave off an hour's worth of content. So it's instead of being like the full 3-hour show, you're probably getting like maybe 2 hours.
Okay,
but it's something that I can find on Hulu like right now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's on the next morning. Yeah,
maybe that's a way that I can ease into it because I've tried. I tried watching some Smackdown and stuff, and I was like, I just, one, I don't know who the people are, but I could spend some time investing to be like, okay, let's get to know this guy. But I was just watching, and I just wasn't. And even I think I saw this was a little bit ago, but it was Flair's daughter and Ronda Rousey were trying to back to back each other and talking. And it was just not entertaining. Like I was just like, I'm just not into
That's
what-
because Ronda Rousey is the drizzling shits on promos.
Yeah,
But that's
neither
the
one of
issue,
us
yeah.
put on the mic if you ask me, but that's
And
just
so I was,
me.
I was sitting here watching, and I'm like, man, I would just rather be watching AEW right now. So that's the extent of everything that I've done
Yeah.
so far. But
Yeah,
All you
I-
need
I-
to know about AEW right now is they
Belt-
finally figured out how to use Roman Reigns, and they're doing it well.
Or you mean WWE?
Or WWE, yeah.
Yeah, the bloodline is dude.
That
Like
is
Roman
the
Reigns
best
has been
thing
champ
in any
over 2
promotion right
years. He's
and it's
crushing
gonna
it.
keep going.
I hope so, man. He's
Me
crushing
too.
it. Bloodline's great. So up next, and this is one of the things I love about this, us doing this show now, is because the lady you referred to as Muffin Butt was up next.
That's Biscuit Butt, sir.
Oh, was it Biscuit Butt?
Biscuit
Oh, my
Butt.
bad.
Get that
Biscuit
right.
Butt. Let me get it right. Biscuit. Let me.
One of the
for
hottest chicks
future.
walking the planet, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. So we see her warming up with her doll Lily, and we get a little Bray Wyatt tease. So I don't really know what's going on because I thought the rumor was it was going to be the other
Wyatt
chick.
Six.
Liv Morgan. Yeah, but so I don't know what's going
Why
on there.
can't
Well,
Bray
there
have
are
both,
6.
baby?
Yeah, there are 6 slots to fill.
Why can't Bray have both?
Okay, I'm down with that. They could be a cool women's tag team also as a part of his stable.
Yes.
So that the whole point of that was just to tease the Bray Wyatt thing,
Mhm.
and then they cut to another backstage segment where Candice LeRae is talking, and then her husband and Dexter Lumis show up. She asks him how they did. They show her all the money. She's like, "Fuck, let's go shopping, deuces," and he just fucking leaves.
Yep.
And yeah, and that was pretty much it. So then the next the next poker match is Dominic versus Tozawa, and he beats him in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Dominic
see,
does.
see, the Hulu recap would have cut that match.
Yeah, he literally beat him in 2 minutes. It was weird. And I like that they got away from the ninja gimmick and got Tozawa back to a more serious character. But it looked like the main thing for this was to set up a feud between Judgment Day and Street Profits, because the Street Profits come out, to kind of help save the day or whatever, because they're such great friends with Tozawa. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Well, the ninjas did help them beat the Viking Raiders.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Long-term storytelling, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we get another backstage segment. Adam Pearce confronts Lashley. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Shit. So at the beginning with the big brawl between Rollins and Lashley accidentally spears an official.
The producer.
Yeah, one of the producers.
Mhm.
And so this is where Adam Pearce confronts him and says, "Hey, look, I know this was an accident, man, but you gotta calm your tits. You can't do that kind of thing. You're not in trouble this time. But if it happens again, I'm gonna have to do something about it." And
That producer who by the way, back in the day, used to be one of Seth Rollins, the heel's bodyguards.
Really?
Yeah.
Jamie Noble?
Yeah.
Was it Jamie Noble?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just look for the giant ears.
Yeah.
That man's ears are way disproportionately bigger than his head.
God. So
It looks like a Ferengi. I'm not even joking.
No.
Come on.
Now he could hear you right now. He's not going to miss anything.
I know, right? It's all right. Somebody's going to show up to his house and give him umox later. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So all of this to me has been leading up. And this is one of the things I love about Triple H. The main event. It's the second women's triple threat match, and they get a good amount of time to tell this story. Good God, I mean the women are so good nowadays. I mean they're just so good. So we have Alexa Bliss. We got Becky Lynch and Nikki Cross.
Yep.
And at the beginning of the show, I would have my picks were Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch.
And
But
Becky.
that didn't happen. We get Alexa Bliss. So now we're going to have Bliss versus Bayley to determine the number one contender.
Yep.
And I hate to I kind of skipped over it so fast, but the way the match goes down is Becky manhandle slams Nikki Cross onto the apron, which I believe is the hardest part of the ring, right? Is that
Pretty
is that
much.
right?
So they say.
That'd be it.
So they say.
JR would tell you, yeah.
Yeah. So she gets slammed there. Then Becky Lynch was busy getting slammed by Asuka through the announce table. So Alexa Bliss took the opportunity to do the Twisted Bliss on a practically dead Nikki Cross to win that match. And so so next week we've got Bailey versus Alexa. What do you think about this, Joe?
I think
Biscuit butt, right? Yeah, biscuit butt.
Yeah. Biscuit butt is going to be the one. I don't think they want to put Bailey up against Belair again.
Yeah, no, and I think this is going to lead into her joining Bray somehow.
Exactly, I think that's what's going to keep the belt on Belair. So yeah, something's going to happen to where she gets disqualified with help from Bray or something, and it's going to be something like that. But I can't see any reason to put Bailey up against Belair again. Nobody wants to see Butterface against Belair.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, it's true. I
love Bailey. Don't get me wrong. She's a great talent.
I miss babyface Bailey with
Me too. She is not credible as a bad guy.
You don't like Karen? Can I talk to your manager, Bailey?
No. I miss the side pigtail. I miss the
I
fun
miss the blowing whatever the hell they are,
wavy thingy.
Bailey, but actually,
Bailey buddies.
I was at the event where she destroyed them. That was.
Were you?
Man,
that must have been cool.
The chainsaw or the hedge clippers or something.
Yeah, the hedge clippers. She was cutting them up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was
crazy.
Well. That concludes our Monday Night Raw discussion. That went on.
As I like to call it, the B show on WWE programming now.
Yeah, it really is.
When it should be the flagship show, but I understand why they're doing it. I mean, Fox is the bigger draw now. So
well, I mean, it's Fox. It's one of the four. So now I'm looking forward. Burke, did you watch Dynamite this week?
I did watch Dynamite. Oh yeah,
nice. All right, this is a part of the show where we get to talk about Dynamite. Gosh, where to start? So they open up the show with
Ricky Starks.
No, with Regal showing Bryan Daniel, or is Bryan Danielson accompanying Regal to the ambulance, and they're explaining Danielson's absence. He's staying with William Regal while he's still supposedly a week later, in the hospital. And then we start with the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal and Ricky Starks.
Yeah, Ricky Starks.
So there's a bunch of guys already in the ring. The only people that got interested is the very first one was Ricky Starks. Then we got Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And then we got Dustin Rhodes. Discuss. I like this match. I mean,
Yeah, Dustin's getting close to needing to retire.
He got eliminated pretty early on.
And for good reason. He's getting old, guys. He needs to go ahead. But I think they keep him around as a coach really more than anything.
He works with the girls. Yeah. The women wrestlers. But
I thought there was going to be a just MJF being MJF. I thought there was going to be some way that he was going to come in and just steal the ring back. So I was just hoping there was going to be some weird thing where he's like going to come in and win the diamond ring is on his own.
Right.
Okay. So, the Battle Royal was a Battle Royal.
The Battle Royal was for the chance to compete for the diamond ring. So, I mean,
yeah. So, really, this whole Battle Royal was just an excuse to get to the most amazing promo Ricky Starks has ever cut in his life.
Yes.
So afterwards, Ricky Stark wins. I believe, who was the last one? Ethan Page he threw out? Was that the last one?
Not to interrupt. I do want to get back to the match because there's one thing I was really hypercritical of in that match. AEW really needs better producers picking which cameras to use because there were a lot of botches. And now botches happen. Botches happen in wrestling matches. But it's the production team guy. It's the guys in the truck whose job it is to see what's on camera. And switch to a different angle.
Right.
And to me, the most glaringly obvious one was the one where Brian Cage elimination, where I guess it was Leah Moriarty was trying to clothesline him over the ring. and Cage didn't get enough of a launch off of it. So you literally see him jump out of the ring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, guys, this is Bush League production value.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that a lot with AEW. Like they'll show weird angles, or they'll miss, like, they'll cut to a crowd shot instead of something important in the ring, and we miss it. So, yeah, it's definitely not a.
The one I hate is when the static camera at the turnbuckle is used. Sometimes.
Oh yeah. Who was it? It was during the Wheeler Yuta match. I'm like staring at the other guy's ass for like
his butt.
It's like right up in the
shots are just silly. You shouldn't even have them.
Yeah. But my God, so MJF comes out, and he does an MJF promo. It's good, and he calls him the poor man, or the dollar store. What did he call him? He called him.
It was not the Walmart Rock, the
dollar store Dwayne. I wrote it down.
Dollar store Dwayne. That's it.
Yeah, and he says he's going to call him the Pebble, and he's just going to skip that Pebble.
See, I kind of want to go after MJF for gimmick infringement, though, because me being Johnny Rock, whenever I talk about my childhood, I refer to myself as Johnny Pebble.
Oh no, not that.
Check is in the mail.
Well, even Ricky Starks came out and used Rudy Poo, so
right.
It was all types of those little there.
Well, and that's why I think that's what started it, because MJF even referred to that promo by saying, you've stolen everything, or maybe I should say you're Rudy Poo candy ass because you've stolen everything else from him. But then, dude, Ricky, this is the best promo he's ever. It is a response to MJF was fucking gold, man.
Well, you got
MJF,
to be honest, you got to bring good game if you're going to go up against an MJF.
Oh yeah,
you have to. So
I'm going to be a little critical. It was a great promo, but I still feel like Ricky Starks was punching above his weight class. Against any other opponent, that would have been a fire promo. But against MJF, I mean, you got to bring your A game, or if you want to use JRPG terms, you got to bring your S game. Like, you got to get an S rank on promo against MJF.
Well, and I think for me, it was like, no matter how good that promo was, it almost came so soon. It's like, MJF's not going to immediately lose his belt.
Right.
So it's almost like,
yeah,
you needed to build up to get to this. And it's like, this is too soon. Like, I could see Ricky Starks doing this later, but it's like, we're hitting it so soon. And you're like, hey, this is all great, but you're not, I guess I'm being pessimistic towards Ricky, but like, you're not going to win the belt right now.
So,
which also means MJF will have that diamond ring for another year.
I don't know. I
throw all the eggs in one basket.
So well, the end of the show pissed me off, because originally I thought we were going to get 2 matches, but they say at the very end of the show, and just nonchalantly at the very end of the show, a winner take all match at Winter is Coming. And I think that was
telegraph your finish.
Yeah, I mean, so now we know Ricky Starks isn't going to win, and MJF's going to probably always have that damn diamond ring. Which is a bummer. But after, I don't know, I guess I enjoyed it a lot more. But he was just, oh God, he was just roasting him. He brought up the fact that he didn't go to the Fan Fest. He called him cheap.
Yeah.
It was so good. And of course, classic heel MJF at the end of it just kicks him in the dick.
Of course.
And the most nonchalant too, just looking straight forward, just boop, and just
get some.
And so then MJF starts taking off the watch and his belt, and he's going to turn around and just lay into Ricky Starks, but Ricky Starks literally spears MJF out of his shoes. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you guys think about this whole? I mean, obviously, I guess you don't think Ricky's going to win, but what do you think about this?
I like Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
I think they're positioning him a little too high on the card right now. He's great mid-card talent. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a feud for the TNT title, but I'm sorry, the big belt, the Triple B, the Reign of Terror will go on a lot longer if they're going to keep throwing guys like Ricky Starks at him.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good practice for Ricky. I think it's good exposure. It's good, I don't know. I see. I'd like to have that suspension of disbelief where I feel like, oh my God, the champ might lose. But I mean, it's pretty obvious that's not going to happen.
Not when they link the belt and the ring.
In the ring. So, but it was what's this say? Bill Barclay, welcome, sir. What was that comment? You watched the new Puss in Boots? Yeah, we're wrong show, buddy. You came to the wrong show.
Good to say.
They'll talk about that on Morning Coffee tomorrow.
This is the dork side of the ring, pal.
Yeah, pal. I didn't know you guys had a wrestling show. Hey, Vigilante. Yeah, no, this is our second week.
This is new.
Yeah, this is new. Every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have today's guest is Burke Lant. Next week, Roland Wellington will be our guest panelist, and we're going to hopefully keep this going. It's fun talking to other wrestling nerds.
Yeah.
Up next, we had Darby Allin. The Darby Allin promo for his TNT match.
Probably the second best thing AEW has produced, next to MJF, is that right there.
Darby Allin.
Yes,
I'm actually. It's funny because he's getting kind of. What's that? He's just getting overplayed for me. I don't know. I'm just his the shine is wearing off.
And that's I looked at because they put his I don't know what his win-loss record was AEW when a lot of times they put on say the win-loss for 2022 2020, but I think they did like his career AEW, and I'm like he has to be the most matches like or up there, right? Like he was like 76-25 or something. Like I'm like gee, like so
I think Moxley has probably got the best win-loss company history.
And I was like, I don't know if it was the win-loss, but it was like just the number of matches period. I was like, man, there has to be, but I think that goes to Jungle Boy. I think has the most, but I think Darby has to be close to the second. But like you say, Danny's like when you start seeing that many matches, and we know how tough he is.
Yeah, it's a law of diminishing returns. And then speaking of Moxley, Moxley cuts a little bit of a promo saying he's going to accompany the Blackpool Combat Club later, which, like, why wouldn't he? And then we get to the TNT title match.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Samoa Joe fucking destroys Darby Allin. Did you guys?
Dude, some of those.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say some of those spots were painful to watch, especially when he's like throwing him into the barricade and throwing him into the ring, and I'm like,
the muscle buster on the skate trucks. On the skate. God damn,
that's Darby's thing, isn't it? He can take all the pain you can give him, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, so could Dynamite Kid, and we know where he wound up.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's going to have a long career doing that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's his shtick.
There were some of them where I was like, for the kayfabe, whatever it is, it was I was like, I think Darby's genuinely like knocked unconscious right now. Like when he did this the suicide out of the ring, and and Joe just steps out of the way, and he hits his head and his back on the concrete, like right there. You're like,
and not to mention like Darby's size, he's so small and so light. And it's almost like power bombing a child. Like you got to take
Johnny,
extra
bring your
steps
mic up, buddy. Bring your mic up.
Yeah,
so you got to take
good. You're good.
You got to take extra steps to protect that guy.
Yeah, and then at the end, I don't know if you guys saw, but Darby, his finger was bleeding. I think he bites his fingernail off and spits it out, and I was like, that dude's pretty hardcore. Whatever's going on there right now.
Yeah,
he's an
odd duck, is what I like to call him.
He's a masochist, but I tell you what, like he's not going to have a long career. He's got to
And I feel like he would have been great on Jackass.
He's been a star on that thing. Yeah.
So the way this
I always
ends,
compare him to what's his name, Jeff Hardy, just not giving a damn about his body. You know what I mean?
Bill Barkley
doesn't go the road of Jeff Hardy. You know what I'm saying?
And we know where Jeff Hardy wound up.
Yeah. Killing the pain was something, right?
So Bill Barkley says the only wrestling related thing he's watched as of late was China as She-Hulk and some porn.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen it too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and she was still a more convincing She-Hulk than the CGI thing we got from Marvel TV.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that show. Don't you talk about that show?
No, I
do not disparage Tatiana Maslany in my presence.
First of all, you guys, I reviewed that show on Nerd Fights, and I liked it. I just think that they should have done it practical, like the last episode where they had the like a human, not a CGI She-Hulk, with the makeup and everything. to me, that looked way better than the.
So you
CDF.
should have. You thought they should have Bixby Ferrigno'd it.
Hell yeah, totally, yeah. And I found out later that wasn't even a chick; it was a dude. I thought it was
the first time Marvel's done that.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But
anyway,
you saw Black Widow, the Taskmaster, the entire movie is a guy with a chick's head put on it. Yeah,
totally. Jade Cargill is a better She-Hulk. No, that was awesome. I loved when she came out as She-Hulk. That was fucking cool. That was really cool. And she did the Thundercats. Who did she do from Thundercats? Also, she did
Chitara.
Yeah, no,
I like her Storm. That's my favorite one. She does.
Jade Cargill is great. We'll get to her in a little bit, guys. So the end of this match, we got he beats him with the Karafuda clutch, I believe, and then he does the muscle after the match. Muscle busters him onto the skateboard upside down, and then puts him back in the clutch. And Wardlow has to come out and make the save.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they're clearly setting up. Because Wardlow didn't lose his title, it was a triple threat match. He didn't take that pin, and I'm actually really looking forward to a Samoa Joe Wardlow match. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah. That's two elephants going at it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've been more impressed. So we'll get to Jade Cargill too, but when Wardlow first started, it was like, hey, he's a big duty power bombs. We don't get to see his talent and his growth, just like Jade Cargill when she first started. I was like, she needs a lot of work. Yeah, she looks great. She's huge, but her matches are painful to watch.
Her promos are painful to hear.
Yes. So
she looks good getting off the bus, though.
That's all that stuff looks great. But with Wardlow and Joe, the dynamic, they have a good rivalry now forming, and Wardlow's grown above and beyond as a wrestler. And I think it's going to be a fantastic match no matter what happens.
I remember when I first turned on Wardlow because I used to hate him. I thought he was just a one trick pony.
That's it.
But then I saw that cage match right before Double or Nothing where he was trying to win the right to fight MJF, and that cage match was one of the best cage matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And me and Danny were ringside for it. It was amazing.
Yeah. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's grown a lot as a wrestler. I'm looking forward to this one when it does hit. Yes. Yeah. Big time.
So, Wardlow recently, I feel they misused him last time I checked. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're talking about. They're riding that ship, though. They did. So now we got a couple promos back to back, which I hate when they do that, but it is what it is.
Well, before you go on, Danny, Zach's is saying, Joe was boring the shit out of me, before this. I think we all know as wrestling goes, good wrestlers elevate each other, and so Wardlow and Joe doing this are elevating both of them, because I don't disagree with Zach. Like, I like Joe. I think Joe's a fantastic wrestler, but on the mic, he's not. But these two together, they elevate each other, and it's turning out to be a fantastic little, wherever their match is going to take them. But
it's definitely turning into a good program. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hoss fight. It's just going to be two big dudes slapping the crap out of each other. I love it.
Yeah.
Big men smacking man meat, like Big E would say. So now we have this promo in the back, or an interview rather, with Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian, setting up a match for Rampage for the All Atlantic title against somebody that Kip gets to choose. And Orange Cassidy's his usual, whatever, I don't care.
Whatever.
I love the dude; he's great. And Vigilante, I do agree, because they should have strapped the rocket to his back after that MJF feud. After he beat MJF, and it just kind of, I think a lot of it got
looking for him.
Well, I mean, they also went through the whole CM Punk backstage meltdown at Brawl Out. I mean, All Out.
This is the first time we've mentioned that on this show.
Yeah. Anywho, and then we get a Moxley promo and then a Jericho promo back to back. Both of these promos are just about the Ring of Honor title that's going to be up for grabs at the Final Battle for Ring of Honor. I don't know. I hate, that was the three promo segments back to back. What are your thoughts on this?
You got to throw a match in there, don't you?
You think they could have broke it up with a match, because there's So the next thing is,
they've got enough belts to do it with.
There's way too many belts in AEW, in my opinion. Way too many. They need to combine, unless they're going to get a separate show for ROH. They just need to because like right now Joe's got both TV titles. You know, he's got the TNT and the ROH television title.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to combine that, I think, you know, and just absorb Ring. I don't understand why they're trying to do it two separate.
Because of the history of the promotion.
Yeah.
That's why they're. You can say what you want about Khan. Yeah, he's not the best booker. He's not the best at anything, but he's passionate. And one of the passions is he loves the history of wrestling. Mm-hmm. So he's going to keep the ROH brand. I'd like to see him start another show.
It needs its own show.
Yes, it does.
So the next,
if keep the brand, he needs to put it on its own thing.
Yeah,
you can share wrestlers, but don't be give it its own show, and don't bring them back to Dynamite or Rampage. Keep them on Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Vigilante. I don't want to get into that CM Punk talk. That's going to be that's got to be an episode of its own.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But come on, I'm wearing the shirt, man.
You don't want me to talk about this today.
It's not going to happen. Sorry. I mean, if you super chat us, then we have no choice. But dude's got to stop wearing turtlenecks. He's like the buff Steve Jobs. Okay, so the next match is the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club. So we've got Jake Hager and his hat, which they actually put in the lower third. They put with hat, which I thought was funny. Yeah. So it's Hager and Garcia versus Castagnoli and Wheeler. And Mox comes out like he said he was going to have their back. So it's like I think this is the first time Mox has come out of the tunnel and not through the crowd. Am I right there?
No, you could be right about that.
I think that's a good something I never even thought of.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure it's the first time he's walked out of the tunnel. It was a good match, but fucking Claudio Castagnoli is the most underrated guy. I mean, he's so fucking strong, and he won. He beat Jake Hager clean, middle of the ring, uppercut. It was a really, really good match. What did you guys think? I mean, it was
another heavyweights having a good time at it. That was good stuff. Yep.
It was four good guys doing what they do. I really got nothing to elaborate further than that.
For sure. So the next thing is this was the. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I don't want to talk bad about anybody. I've never been super impressed by Jake Hager, but like you said, I love. I think Daniel Garcia is a fantastic wrestler. Like you say, Claudio's super strong, very talented. And Wheeler. Mm-hmm. All four of them in the ring. It was an incredible match. Like I just back to earlier, when you have guys that are good at their craft, they elevate everybody, and it was just an all around.
Yeah. The only thing with Wheeler Yuta, man, is that's a terrible fucking name. Like he's got to do something. It just is. It's not a good name,
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
There it is. Good cue.
Very nice. So I tell you what, we've got just wow, we got a lot. So we can take a little. He wanted to do a break, I think was the hint there. So let's talk about today's sponsor, shall we? Let me present my screen. Here we go. And I'm also going to put in the chat. Let's see. I'll get better at these guys. But if you go to customwebdesigns.biz, today's sponsor of the show, you can get a custom WordPress website. And if you decide to get other services through custom web designs, such as email or hosting or domain names, you can find the perfect domain name. And if you use promo code CWD15 off, you save 15% off your entire cart order. That's CWD15 off at customwebdesigns.biz. Putting your biz online. Thank you. And now back to the show. I'll get better at these. Anywho.
Sounded great.
Hey, you're doing fine. What are you saying?
So, okay, this next part, the most fucking ridiculous thing. I had a huge problem with this. So MJF or not? I'm sorry. So William Regal did like a "In Case I Die" interview. Like what? I mean, please, like, tell me that, like, do you guys agree? Like, this was the fucking dumbest
Everybody
thing I've
knows
ever
he's
seen in
got one
wrestling.
foot out the door. He's going back to WWE. Everybody knows it. You don't need to just leave him in the hospital. We don't need to see this.
Yeah.
I mean, Impact killed a guy.
Yeah,
Impact straight up killed a guy to get him off of TV.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that? I mean, like, why can't you just say MJF literally separated his skull from his spine while Regal is?
Yeah, right. You know,
fatality.
Fatality. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was. I thought it was ridiculous.
It was a little ham-fisted, a little heavy.
Yeah, it's like when you. It's like the video will. You know, in wrestling, though, yeah, it was. I don't know. It's the most soap opera thing AEW's ever done, in my opinion. So I wasn't a fan of that at all.
You mean more than the Cody Brandy gender reveal?
You're not alone.
Yeah, it was worse than that. Yeah, that was. Yeah. So now, you know, Moxley's getting in the ring, and it's so funny because Shivani's like. Asks him like, so what did you think about what we just saw? And he just no sell. He doesn't even talk about it. He talks about Final Battle and how like they're gonna be rid of the Jericho Appreciation Society. He doesn't mention the in case I die interview with at all. And that's the only question Shivani asked him. So I thought that was funny. What did you guys think about that promo? I mean, Mox is great on the mic anyway, but
yeah.
And you think it was weird that he didn't even mention he didn't even refer to it at all?
Hey man, John's his own kind of cat. He marches to the beat of his own drum, if you will. I'm glad he didn't mention it.
Okay.
Really.
Well, then we get another promo, and this one's a House of Black promo, and I'm glad to see Malachi Black back because all the news and reports were that he was having some mental health issues and he needed to take some time off, and I thought he was going to be gone a lot longer, actually. I like the House of Black, and I like what they're doing, and I think that they really need to be more in contention for the trios titles. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and then as you guys, one promo thing where you talk about somebody, like I said, I don't watch WWE, but you're talking about somebody's better as a baby face than who's the chick with the Blackpool Combat Club? It's what's her name?
Blackpool Combat?
You mean
House of Black? I'm sorry, with the House of Black. I'm sorry,
Julia Hart.
Oh, Julia Hart.
Yeah, not a bad person at all. Like,
no, I liked her better. I liked her better with the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, you're not selling that. Like, I tried to look at her, and she does say she loves her hat and everything, and I'm just like, they need to not have her any.
Yeah, they need somebody more like a Rhea Ripley type of character, not Barbie doll.
Yeah,
no.
But
anyways, that's all I have to say about that. But I do agree they should be without a doubt going for the trios.
Why don't they put Abaddon in the House of Black? I mean, you have Abaddon signed to the contract.
I don't know why Abaddon's not a main contender. Period. Like, Abaddon,
she was injured for a spell, but I think she's back. I don't really watch Dark or Dark Elevation because it's way too much content.
Yeah,
I think she did return.
Yeah, she comes out. She has great presence. She's a very good wrestler. It's like, I don't know why she doesn't get more. But if you said she's injured, because I don't follow a lot of the behind the scenes stuff either, so I don't know why.
Yeah, and I don't have. There's like this week. I mean, good God, there was so much wrestling this week. I never have time to watch Dark or Dark Elevation, but this week alone, I especially couldn't have done it this week.
Yeah, two pay-per-views.
Yeah, and even though I'm a huge Booker T fan, I didn't get to watch NXT on Tuesday, and he's really the only reason I watch it because the funny shit he says. He's just so funny. He's so great.
Like that shooky ducky quack quack.
Shucky ducky quack quack. Yeah. Oh yeah. Another. Well, I guess it's not a promo, but it's an interview. But it was kind of a pointless. It was an interview with Jamie Hayter where she's pissed that she didn't get a sit down interview like Saraya, and it's like. It's basically her version of I'm a fighting champ promo, but it was like 2 minutes and it seemed pointless. Like, right? What did you think?
Actually, again, going to the production value, weren't competitors for the following match in the ring while the House of Black promo and the Jamie Hayter thing were going on? Like, they did the intros for the match and then they went to 2 promos. I'm like, what are the competitors in the match just doing? They're just standing around.
Right? Are we cooling off before the match?
Yeah. If that was the case, because I didn't take note of that, because the next match was the women's trio tag match with that bitch show and her baddies. taking on, I don't know, basically 3 jobbers. I don't know, somebody that was in the indies and got kicked out or something. Yeah, go ahead, Burke.
I was say I love Jamie Hayter. I've been saying that Jamie Hayter should have been champion well before Toni Storm.
Yeah.
And just for the fact of powerful, talented, all that stuff. So, and I agree. Like, I think even though the interview was pointless, I think Jamie Hayter needed mic time. I
just wish there would it didn't build to anything.
No,
to me.
No,
it was pointless,
And like Johnny talked about, is like whatever their producers going on, they needed something more substance for Jamie. So they just wanted to give her mic time. She needed it, but they needed something better.
Yeah.
But as for the 3 jobbers, Madison Rayne, I am not like, they keep talking about her like that she's a veteran. I'm like,
she's been around for a long time. She was on Impact for a long time.
She was the Marty Jannetty of the beautiful people, though. I mean,
but
she was there to take pinfalls.
Every match I watch, she brings nothing. But I will say, I love Sky Blue, so don't talk bad about Sky Blue.
No.
But
fair enough. And the other one was Kiera Hogan, and she was the one that was kicked out of the baddies.
The story was Kiera Hogan. The other 2,
and she wanted to start the match, but I guess like the other chicks like held her back because Jade was in the ring. But then, as soon as they didn't have her in, Jade tags out, like classic heel stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty good with like the other girls, the Sky, that team, actually looking pretty good until it just like Cargill was just too much. I mean, she's just too powerful for him. Just like what did I write here? Right? Oh yeah, she spikes Hogan pretty tough with the jaded and gets the 1, 2, 3. I mean, it looked like she that in
Hulk
time
smash, baby.
Yeah, in time
Hulk
that
smash.
chick. She needs more. If they had like a developmental, I mean, because they have some, she's so close to being like great, you know what I mean? But she's still really green.
She needs a mouthpiece.
Yeah, and
she fires all her mouthpieces.
I know, like she's already gone through 2 of them. You know, she had the smart Mark Sterling, and then she had the Stokely Hathaway, right? And anyway,
you mean Malcolm Bivens? I love the way Xavier Woods calls it. It's like Malcolm Bivens.
So now we have another Tony Schiavone interview with Saraya. But of course, Britt shows up to challenge her for a tag match. And she's like, good luck finding a partner. But me and Jamie Hayter are going to, beat the stuffing out of you. Who do you think she's going to get?
Oh, man. The way they booked the women's division, I don't know.
It's because like Ruby Soho and Tay Miller, they're doing their own thing.
Do you think it's going to be like a new acquisition, like a debut, like she's going to pull one of her friends, from the past and, kind of thing?
I think that's probably a better bet. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of anybody but I think you're probably right, Danny.
Yeah. And the funny thing, this interview ended with Britt. Saraya was talking to Tony, and Britt just takes Tony and walks him off screen. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what?
I love their dynamic. You know how I feel about Britt.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I've liked Britt forever, but when Jamie came in, that's where I kind of like even lean more and more towards Jamie Hayter. But I love their dynamic and their good and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, no, Britt Baker is so good. Oh my god,
she is,
and she's easy on the eyes too. So there's that.
Actually, I just want to shout out Vigilante Williamson in the chat. He brought up a really good point. Do you think not having house shows hurts someone like Jay Cargill, who after 2 or 3 years in WWE would have more experience?
100%. That's a great point. Yeah,
it is a great point.
Thank you for pointing that out, Johnny.
Absolutely, because they only wrestle once a week.
Yeah,
and now WWE is like pretty much all but canceled house shows too, but they also have a performance center.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and even for just like Hook, Jade is essentially she's just Rampage, and Hook is just Rampage too. So without having it on Elevation or the house shows, she really isn't getting all that experience either.
Yeah.
And Hook is a whole other thing. Like I think Hook's amazing, but he needs more mainstream time too. But
yeah, no, totally. So the next thing up is they run down the the Ring of Honor Final Battle card, but we'll go over that when we go over Ring of Honor Final Battle in a little bit. So now the Acclaimed come out, and oh my God, these guys are so over. They come out with Daddy Ass. Yes, scissor me.
Yeah,
great stuff. They the rap that he does on the way,
Yeah,
he totally roasted Herschel Walker in it. It was great.
yes,
Herschel Walker, Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, right. And then they show Jeff Jarrett and his cronies for some reason keeping an eye on them, but then nothing really came out of it. Like, what do you think's happening? You think they're going to try to make a run for the tag titles or something? Or
I don't think they deserve to. And I'm like,
I don't
Jeff
either.
Jarrett, like I know JR and Jeff Jarrett have history and stuff, but they're not fooling anybody that he's. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this match that they have was, good God, it was like a tag team clinic. What did you guys think of this match with the?
Well, when you have the top guys in the ring, it's always going to be a clinic.
Dude,
It was like, so you can see the shirt here. I got my 6-star FTR.
Yeah.
FTR, yeah.
It wasn't a great week for FTR, but
It definitely was not a great week for FTR. But this match was a fucking banger, dude. It's like,
it was.
And that's what I liked about it, is like I love FTR, and anytime they get in the ring, it's gonna be an amazing match, right? And
I'm actually really disheartened after watching Final Battle. I'm like, it just makes me.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, this is more of an AEW issue than it's a Ring of Honor issue, so I'll touch on it now. I'm really upset at Tony Khan and the Elite for icing FTR out of the tag.
Yeah.
I wanted Young Bucks FTR 3. I wanted FTR holding all the belts, and now it seems like they're at the point we're going to start losing them. And it's like, to me,
yeah. And Burke and I have talked about the FTR. Like they really should have had the AEW titles before they started losing. You know,
and this is the kind of backstage politicking that CM Punk was calling out.
Exactly. No, I hate the fucking Hardly Boys and Twinkle Toes, but whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I was like, I agree with Johnny's. Like, I think they should have been dripping in gold, at least for a little bit, before they get to Ring of Honor. But they are better than the Acclaimed. But I love where the Acclaimed are at. And this is me personally. I love where the Acclaimed are at. I absolutely love them as a tag team. I love their heart. I love their stick. They're very good. FTR is just better. But
but dude, not only did they do a great match, they hugged at the end, which I always like that when you have when you have two baby faces going off against each other.
And I never thought I'd buy the Acclaimed as baby faces because Max Caster is such a perfect heel. But I'm being sold on it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, yeah. And that's and FTR lost in a fantastic way, where it didn't look like, oh my God, they threw it away. Like, the match was a banger from beginning to end. And you're like, okay, that was believable. But then I could see what Johnny was leading at too, is like, we're going to start seeing FTR just slowly.
I even wrote that here. Banger of a match with a great finish that kept both teams strong. Even though the Acclaim
and that's what you want.
Yeah.
You've booked correctly when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you on FTR. These guys.
And at the end of this, the Ass Boys call out. That I don't think they deserve a title shot.
They don't deserve one, but I love the Ass Boys. They're doing a fantastic job. They are every segment they're in is amazing. I love every time they're on camera, whether they're getting made fun of or they're trying to make fun of, whatever it is, they can do whatever they want. Just let them on the TV. That's my just let them be there.
To me, that would be Danhausen's greatest contribution to the wrestling industry, is calling the Gun Kids the Ass Boys.
Yeah. Now everybody does. Yeah. So this was pretty much how the show ended, except for a graphic that really pissed me off. I mentioned earlier. I actually put, wait, what? Winner takes all, Ricky Starks versus MJF? Like, what?
I thought you were talking about the Ring of Honor anal battle graphic.
Do you care to elaborate on that for our viewers?
Well, can production pull up like the flyer for Ring of Honor Final Battle? They should have really used a different font.
Yeah.
Because once you see it, you will never unsee it.
Okay. Well, hopefully somebody can pull that up for us. But that,
maybe by the time we start talking about it.
Yeah. So that concludes Dynamite. So let's go straight into Rampage, and then we'll do Final Battle. How about that? Because that
no Smackdown.
We'll do Smackdown after. I really want to cover Final Battle.
It was so good. It was so good.
It was very good. Yeah. So Rampage opens up with Moxley and Takeshita already in the ring because Rampage is only an hour, so they do that a lot. Where we just start right into the action, and dude. A fucking clinic. I even wrote of course Moxley is a bloody mess per usual, but another banger of a match. Went nearly 15 minutes on an hour-long show, and Takeshita stays strong because he doesn't submit; he passes out.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the match?
Yeah,
it was brutal. I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. Let's see. I did write
for me. It's like. Takeshita he's so young and he's so talented, and I think just showing that he could hang with Moxley and made a banger of a match. He's been impressing me since he got his debut in AEW. He's impressing me, so I like what he brings.
Yeah,
in.
It seems to me though, and Joe, I'd like your thoughts as the resident New Japan guy.
Sure.
Is it just me, or does it seem like all those New Japan guys are losing when they come to AEW?
They do.
Yeah,
I've noticed that too. They're there to be cannon fodder. And it's, of course, you're not seeing the guys that are in title pictures in New Japan either. Okay. These are veterans that have been around for a while. And, we're not seeing the Rainmaker. We're not seeing Ibushi. It is what it is.
Is Ibushi even back? Because I thought nobody's seen Ibushi for like a year.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a while, but you understand what I'm saying. The caliber of guys that's coming over there, it's not title picture guys. Matter of fact, the only one in New Japan that I think is working outside the promotion is Jay White's on Impact every once in a while. Yeah. He's done some crossover stuff there. But
I think that's still because Japan's still pretty strict with the COVID travel restrictions and all that.
Yep, they are. I think
I would love to see
one of the reasons why Bea Priestley is not on AEW anymore is because she moved to Japan with her boyfriend, who is Will Ospreay. And she's working for Stardom now. So, and he's right.
Wait, Bea Priestley is in WWE now.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's on NXT now, isn't she?
Yeah, she was on NXT UK, and then she just did I
forgot about
triple
that.
threat a few months ago at the NXT pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like Danny, though. I don't keep up with NXT worth a damn. But I do remember seeing her Instagram that she's on NXT now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, move along. We got a shit ton of wrestling to cover still. And,
you do. And
45 minutes. I know, man. So the next thing we have is that empty-headed Hangman Adam Page. He comes out and he tries to act like he's tough, and he blames Doc Samson for why he can't wrestle. But because of his brain, I'd argue that he's empty-headed. He doesn't have one to fucking begin with. As you can tell, I'm not a big
I thought that was kind of a heelish thing for him to do, too.
It was very heelish. He gives Moxley a cheap shot. I mean, he's definitely going heel. And I think that that's a smart thing because a lot of people like me, after that press conference, really saw Hangman in a different light because a lot of people really did come to CM Punk's I don't know if AIDS the right word, but CM Punk, same thing with Regal. The reason he wants to get out of there is because nobody wants to fucking listen to the vets. They don't want to take any advice. They think they fucking know it all. Yeah. And Hangman Adam Page is he's garbage in my opinion. Claudio Castagnoli comes out and
there it is.
Anal battle. Yeah, it's like my anal fantasy, my final fantasy. Yeah. Bad design. You know that poster, right? Burke, my Final Fantasy Kill Master posters. Yeah, I did the same thing. It almost looks like anal fantasy instead of Final Fantasy.
Title of your sex tape.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Hangman just acted like a bitch at the end of this segment. I definitely think he's going heel.
Which is good.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that. The next thing, we get a Will Hobbs vignette. But I actually wrote, Rampage is too short for this shit, in my opinion. What do you guys think? I don't think they should be.
I do believe with the roster AEW has, and the amount of titles and the amount of stories they're trying to tell, they definitely need to expand Rampage to a 3-hour or to a 2-hour show, not a 3-hour show.
No, please, no more 3-hour shows.
No more 3-hour shows.
You got one a week. That's enough.
But right now, when you have an hour of wrestling, I don't think there should be nearly as many promos as they've been having. You know?
No, it should be wrestling, and that's it.
Because guess what? After the Will Hobbs thing, another promo. We have another promo. It's Hook's 1-year anniversary, and then we have another Stokely Hathaway promo. Yes, another promo in a 1-hour show. There's like 4 promos back to back. I couldn't.
Wow.
I couldn't believe.
Was there any wrestling on this wrestling show?
Right. So far, just the one match. So far, the Moxley Takeshita match was it so far. Now
it's almost like an episode of Sunday Night Heat.
yeah, right, from way back in the day. So now we have the bunny. She comes out to challenge for somebody's got to help me with this part, because AEW's got too many fucking titles. I don't even know what title she was talking about. The Hikaru Shida is the. Do you know what title she has? Is this some kind of Japan title?
The Regina D Wave Championship.
Okay. All righty. Yeah. So, of course,
what was
Cheetah
the
wins,
middle thing again?
Is it the Roe v. Wade Championship? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, yeah, it was. I don't know. Like this show, this episode of Rampage was not my favorite, especially to be a go home show for a Ring of Honor pay per view. But you know,
is there any Ring of Honor talent on the show?
I haven't heard one name I'm interested in.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Except for Mox, and he wrestled.
Yeah, and guess what? Another promo. This one's about Mercedes Martinez, though, for the ROH title match that she's going to have with Athena at Final Battle. And next we have the Firm versus some jobbers.
Yeah.
And I could give a fuck. Lame.
Is this an episode of AEW Dark that got
it's
filed or something?
It's something, right? It's really weird. And then we have another promo, but it's a FTR promo, so I can forgive it. And they're talking about their upcoming match with those crazy ass Briscoe brothers. But yeah, again, I wrote too many promos on a 1-hour show. Like I literally wrote that on 2 different pages. So like that's how you know there's just too many. Oh, and then there was an Ortiz and Kingston promo. Another fucking promo. Like this show is just completely full of promos. Here's the third wrestling match. Sorry, third wrestling match is All Atlantic Champion Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian's choice. His opponent is Trent Seven. I wrote here, ask Joe who the fuck that is. Who is that?
It's Mustache Mountain.
I don't know who this is. I didn't see Rampage, so you'd have
Trent Seven Trent Seven's another former WWE guy. He was the tag team partner of Tyler Bate in NXT UK. I have mixed opinions on Trent Seven because he's a great wrestler, but there's a lot of things outside of wrestling, kind of along the speaking out, that he's not in a good light.
He's a Twitter guy that likes to say stupid stuff. Is that what you're talking about, or
more like he's kind of a predator? I really don't want to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. So it was.
Yeah.
The match.
I figured by saying hashtag speaking out, you kind of could have got the gist.
Gotcha. Well, this match was overbooked garbage, in my opinion. Even though Cassidy does win, Penelope ties up the ref. Then Kip Sabian, who's magically okay all of a sudden, starts to beat the shit out of him, and Dustin Rhodes has to come out and make the save. I just top to bottom, if I were Simon Miller, the show would get it down. I was not a fan of this episode. What do you guys? And that's the end of the show. What do you guys think of?
Doesn't sound like it was very good.
No,
if it's a go home show for a pay-per-view, it's really bad.
Yeah,
I think to save Dynamite, they're saying in the group chat that there's danger of Rampage being canceled. Now, the case to save Rampage, add another hour to it, put some real storylines on there, put some real weight to the show, and make it more like a Raw and SmackDown dynamic. Put some of your A guys on there, and you've got so many good talent just sitting there. Wait, where's Miro been? Where is Miro?
Yeah, where exactly? They need to have. They need to start doing some kind of funny gimmick where there's like a milk carton just sitting out with the missing person thing, on the back, and it's Miro. Just I don't know.
They have enough. They have enough talent on the roster now to increase the time.
Oh yeah, totally.
And enough belts.
Enough belts.
There's too many damn belts. I don't understand why we have an all Atlantic belt. That belt doesn't even make sense to me. But anyway. Okay, so now this is the one I'm really excited to talk about. Ring of Honor, Final Battle. This is the 21st Final Battle in Ring of Honor's history. This card has 6 out of the 8 matches are title matches. And the first match was an ROH debut for Dralistico, who I've never heard of. Do you guys know who this is?
So Dralistico is the third brother of Roosh and Dragon Lee. He's the younger brother. And if you notice that mask look kind of familiar, it's because the original Mystico, who became the first Sin Cara in WWE, passed down the mask. It's Lucha. It's Lucha. Okay. So that's why he's Dralistico and not Mystico.
Ah, okay. Well, he and Roosh, speaking of Roosh, they come out being accompanied by that fucking Judas Preston Vance. You know why I say that, right? I see Burke laughing. How do you make a kid cry, man? That's just beat up. And they take on AR Fox and Blake Christian. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really know anybody. Exactly, I didn't really know anybody in this match except for Roosh, and I'm not even a Roosh fan. So honestly, as an opener, this match didn't do it for me. And usually with pay-per-views, people are always saying you either want to be first on the card or last on the card.
To me, it was a total dud. It was the worst match to start the show.
It really was.
And it even had a botched finish. I don't know if you thought that. The finish was completely botched. I even wrote here,
AR and Blake won, but they didn't look like winners because of the botch. It just looked,
Well, I don't think they were supposed to win either.
Oh.
I think that was supposed to be Roosh and Dralistico's match because if you could tell from Dralistico's reaction right after it, he was not happy.
Huh.
And I think that's what led into the whole. I think they called an audible after the match, which led to the post-match beatdown.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. I tell you what, though, they always Chris Jericho's famous for saying he doesn't want to be number 2 on the card. It's not a good spot on a pay-per-view. I tell you what, this second match, fucking match of the night.
Banger.
Match of the
I wouldn't say
night.
match of the night. That we'll get to that.
Okay, easily in contention for it. Maybe not. I don't know. I wrote, of course, I was watching it in real time, in all caps at the bottom of my notes here. I don't know. Can you see what that said?
You texted me about it.
Yeah, I was like,
me about it, man. Yeah,
dude, it was so fucking good. So we have Mercedes Martinez versus Athena for the ROH Women's title.
Yeah.
I love how Athena doubled down on her critics because, I don't know if you noticed, she was kind of in the news this week because people think she hits too hard. She works a little stiff. And my God, you see these two women, they're like, give me all you got.
Ember Moon, right?
Yeah, the former Ember Moon. I tell you what, man, this match was hard hitting. It felt like a men's match. It did not feel like a women's match.
7 belts of dog shit out of each other.
Really. Yeah, it was, and and the crazy thing is, Athena's a really good heel, but the crowd would not let her be the heel. You know what I mean? They were booing the fuck out of the babyface champion and cheering for the heel. Yep. It was crazy. Burke, I see you smirking. What do you have to say?
Oh no, I was going to add that when you talk about Athena hit too hard, and Mercedes Mercedes always looks like she's a monster. Like she's there to beat the living, daylights out of somebody. So it did what it was supposed to do. Like you said, like hard hitting, like it was a fantastic match.
I wrote this down enough times to where they were literally booing the babyface this whole match. I did not get that, and I don't watch Ring of Honor. I'm not very familiar with Mercedes Martinez or how she became the champion, or if she was supposed to be the babyface, right? Guys,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, though,
The goddamn robots, John!
oh, we had bots in the chat.
Yes.
Oh man, dude. Oh man, it was such a good match. Athena, first of all, I think she's fine as hell. I mean, she's just really.
Athena's a fan favorite. That's why you got what you got, man.
Yeah, and she deserves it. I thought she deserved a much better run in WWE. I mean, she was a former NXT Women's Champion, but it had a very transitional champion feel to it.
Yeah, there was a funny part where the crowd is chanting "beat him up" when she's like roughing up the ref, and the crowd is chanting "beat him up, beat him up," and then when Athena wins, the crowd the fucking pops the roof off
so hard.
Yeah,
That's
it was
nice. That's
great.
Nice.
It was near Athena's hometown, so it was her hometown crowd.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay,
Yeah.
I tell you what, great.
There you go.
Well, yeah, she's
Great
trained in Texas by Booker T.
She's from Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, which that shirt right behind you was from the One Night in Vegas event. That I got to actually hang out with Booker T and Brad Gilmore. My girl got to meet him, so it was pretty cool. All right, so the next match. I mean, we're done with that, right? You guys have anything else you want to say about that? It was great.
I'm enjoying listening about it because that's a
You didn't
pay-per-view I was not even going to see. So.
Okay. Well, the next match is with Shane Taylor and Joe Griffey, who I have no idea who those guys are. So if anybody can enlighten me, that'd be great. Taking on Swerve in Our Glory. And I was actually writing and it was like, fuck Swerve. I don't understand what Keith Lee sees in him, blah, 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 blah. And then by the end of the match, Swerve they finally do this. This was a complete, this was just their way to further that storyline along for AEW. Again, I don't know who Taylor or Griffey are at all.
They both have a lot of history with Keith Lee from the Indies.
They do? Okay. Well, they the whole point of this match was Swerve walking out on Keith Lee. Keith Lee's still winning the damn thing by himself.
Oh yeah, he pulled a fucking Thanos. It's like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. And
that was
which is the way he should be booked. He's a moose. Yeah. No doubt.
That was one of the best Big Bang Catastrophe finishers from Keith Lee. Like JD Griffey took that thing so smoothly, and it looked punishing. It looked downright punishing.
Yeah, I don't know how to say the this person who's joined us. The catharsis, is that what that is? Catharsis. Thanks for joining us.
It looks like it's short for it. Yep.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for pointing out that was Athena's hometown.
Where was that, in Dallas?
I think it was Austin.
Austin. Okay.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody.
I know she's from Texas.
Arlington, Texas.
Arlington.
Which is
right outside
Dallas area, buddy.
It's right outside of Dallas. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to Wednesday because I want to see Keith Lee fucking destroy Swerve. I mean, like, I really do. I mean, like, where do you guys thought? I mean, like, that's going to be a good match, don't you think?
Dude,
I think that's going to be a pay-per-view match. I don't think that's going to be that they're going to hold that off until what's the next one? Revolution Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they can still get some more mileage out of that storyline.
Yeah. So the next match.
Swerve is such a dick. I love
He
it.
is.
I'm eating it up. Like when Keith Lee got in the ring and faced off with Shane Taylor, that was the match we all wanted to see. And what Swerve do? Slaps him on the back and
get out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Yep.
What a shit heel. I love it.
Yeah, no, he's good at making you hate him, so he's doing a good job of that.
And he's from my Swerve's from my hometown, so it's always funny to see. And I look back and be like, oh, where did he live or where did he come from? So I root for Swerve because you got.
Are you from Seattle?
He's from Tacoma, Washington. Yeah.
I lived in Tacoma for many years. I still have my 253 area code.
Yep, and that's my phone number too. So I'm born and raised in Tacoma. So
cool.
Yeah.
I'm a Seahawks fan. Does that count?
It does. It does.
Well, my dad lives on Camano Island, so I guess we all have a little bit of a connection there. So the next match, I literally wrote a 6-man tag title match that I give 0 fucks about. Brian Cage and some AEW guys will probably win. And that's exactly what happened. That's all I have to say about that.
You're not a fan of Dalton Castle and the boys?
I love Dalton Castle, so I don't care.
Castle.
Well, then I'll let you guys talk about it. I mean, I don't know. I was like,
oh my god. Well, the guy is so theatrical. Like, actually,
oh yeah.
Funny story. I used to have a neighbor when I lived in Centennial Hills area of Vegas, and the guy raised peacocks, and the biggest one I named Dalton Castle.
Yeah. He just comes out. He can perform. He's a great wrestler, and
he's such a cornball. I mean, he's the one that lost to Jericho a couple weeks ago, right?
That was a banger of a match.
Yes, it was still such a good match. And
it was a good match. Yeah.
Just coming out with his boys, and then all the stuff he does. I like Brian Cage. I think he's good. I just like Dalton Castle. I don't know who the boys are. But you knew the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage were going to win. The Gates of Agony, those guys are monsters. Brian Cage is a monster. Brian Cage actually here in Vegas works out at one of those dungeon gyms, so you can see Brian Cage around Vegas sometimes. But
also
he is a monster, man.
Here a lot as
that
well.
Guy is a beast.
Toa does a lot of matches for FSW here in town.
Yeah. So the next match was one that I was really, really, really looking forward to. It was a Death Before Dishonor rematch. Wheeler Yuta, which I still say has got the worst name in wrestling, versus Daniel Garcia. And I wrote here, I don't really understand the pure rules, the pure championship rules, but fuck, this was a great match.
Yeah.
Like, really great match. Wheeler, I actually wrote Wheeler wins in what could be my match of the night. So what do you like? Again, I wrote great fucking match. So
I think that belt for me was made for Daniel Garcia. To see Wheeler win was kind of not what I wanted to see, but that's just me. That's my opinion.
Okay, all right, Johnny. Any thoughts on the match?
I gotta agree with Burke on that because Daniel Garcia is tailor-made for that belt.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryan Danielson is tailor-made for that belt.
Yes.
You know, and I see Daniel Garcia like I know they ran the storyline already a few months ago.
Yeah.
But Daniel Garcia does have potential to be the next Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, no, for sure. Then the next so the next match
that was a brutal ass match.
Fucking great match as well. So we had two really good matches back.
The turnbuckle spot where he's just
so of course we're talking about the ROH tag team title match with FTR.
Match of the night.
Yeah. Was that your match of the night?
I wrote the wrestling the Briscoes for it.
Yes.
That's awesome. I hate that I missed that.
Dude,
you say what you want about the Briscoes, crazy,
match.
Whatever.
Yeah,
they're fucking great.
Collar, yeah.
Dude, Dax Harwood lost a tooth.
Yeah, Joe. If I were you, Joe, I would try to go out of your way to watch this.
Find that one and watch it. Yeah,
it was really
FTR. I love and I love the Briscoes. When you mentioned earlier that they're crazy, I'm like, you can think they're crazy all you want, but they're awesome in the ring. They're freaking fantastic.
And
I just don't know why they put the belts on the Briscoes though, because like the Briscoes are banned from TV. Warner Media flat out said, "Do not sign these guys. We will pull the plug."
Yeah,
and that's because of Jay Briscoe's.
I don't understand either, but here's what I think. Because what happens at the end of this match? The Ass Boys come out to further that storyline. So maybe somehow the Ass Boys are going to end up with the titles, and FTR just didn't want to drop them to the Ass Boys, and that would be why,
Yeah, and I think Catharsis. Before we go on to the next part, he talks about put the belt on you to just keep Garcia on AEW, and I was like, that could be a very good point.
Yeah,
but Catharsis comment, but with FTR, I think those guys are moving into a different part of their career. We all know they're good. We all know they're top guys. We all know that. And so I would just assume that they're just going to slowly drop their belts, and whether they go quietly into the night, but they're doing we are passing down as wrestling tradition is.
Yeah. Totally.
They're the current tag champs in New Japan, by the way. you guys could.
Yes, they are. They are and they still have the AAA titles, I believe, as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, man. Then the next.
I mean, there's another take on this.
Okay, go ahead.
How long are FTR's contracts with AEW?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
They could be slowly dropping the titles one by one in preparation of a reunion with the Big Fed. Now that Papa H is
now that Papa H is in charge, that could be. That could be. I do think it's an injustice if they never get to back to the AEW tag title scene. I mean, it's just miscarriage of justice. Anyway,
I don't think they can do it right now without hurting the Acclaimed. And right now, I'm loving everything the Acclaimed is doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They kind of booked themselves into a corner with that.
Yeah. Now up next is an ROH TV title match with Tony Storm's boyfriend, Juice Robinson.
Juice is loose.
Juice is loose, baby. Taking on Samoa Joe, and of course, Samoa Joe just completely murks this fool. I mean, just fucking destroys him.
It's almost a crime.
Yeah, and that led us into our main events of the night, which was just a feel-good way to end the show, if you ask me. You have Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli, two fucking pros at the top of their game. Like we were talking about Jericho earlier. I don't know how this guy does it. It's like he's got the fountain of youth or something in his backyard.
It's a DDP yoga, man.
Is that DDP yoga? I believe it.
Yeah.
Fucking great match. And I never saw it. Is this the first time Claudio's actually won with the spin? Like
I didn't like the finish. I didn't like
won with it?
He fucking won with it.
Jericho starts tapping out.
Jericho starts tapping
in the air?
I'm like, I didn't know that was a submission.
Wow.
I didn't know that was a submission hold.
Yeah. I guess Jericho was like getting sick or something. Like,
Please tell me he beat the shit out of him before that.
I mean, it was a good match.
It was a good match. It was a
I just
good
didn't
match.
like the finish.
Yeah. I thought the finish was funny. I'm like goofy wrestling for life. I love goofy wrestling.
Yeah, I love it.
And I thought it was funny.
Well, here's the thing. I love goofy wrestling. I love wrestle crap. I love all of that stuff. We know that like Mantar is one of my favorite gimmicks of all time. But in Ring of Honor, it doesn't fit. Ring of Honor is, and I know that's Jericho's storyline. I know that he's been besmirching the title, which I loved. But I still think on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, if you're not going to have Jericho win in a goofy way, don't have him lose in a goofy way.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure.
Pick up your mic, Johnny.
It was funny though. It was
to me, it robs Claudio of legitimacy.
Nah, I think he tapped. I mean, he can now. He can come on TV and he'd be like, I made you tap, like with a fucking gimmicky move like that. I'm pretty sure nobody's ever done that before.
Maybe it's a thing now. Maybe he's gonna start making everybody tap out to that swing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know, but
you know what I'm saying?
That was that, ladies and gentlemen, was the review for the Ring of Honor final battle. Overall thoughts, guys? I mean, for those of us who saw it, I guess Joe didn't see it, but
I can tell you this: not seeing it, the one match you mentioned two matches on the card I'd want to see is the tag championship between FTR and the Briscoes because they don't have the best credibility in the game or anything, but I've watched them on Ring of Honor for years and they are a great tag team.
Yeah, if I would watch it for those three matches we discussed in length, like FTR Briscoes, Wheeler Yuta,
Jericho, and I call him Cesaro. I never can remember his other name, but
it was mostly good. I can't say it was good top to bottom, but it had a lot of matches where I wrote down great fucking match. The first
that opening match was just such a drag, though.
It really was.
Man. Sounds like the female championship match was good.
It was. That was the third best match of the night, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
When I'm done with all these commissions I got to do, I'll definitely pull them up and watch them.
All right. Well, we're getting into the final about 20 minutes or so. So I think we may not be able to cover NXT, but pay-per-view, but we can get into SmackDown.
I didn't watch Deadline yet because of the time change with the.
Yeah. So I had just finished watching Deadline while this morning.
I was fixing to say, yeah, pregame, he was still watching it and making notes. I was like, man, come on. You know, you can wait a week. It's not that bad. It's NXT.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not like you're doing a major show here.
But let's get into SmackDown talk. The bloodline, as I said, for Raw, yes, we the ones. They are they're great right now. They are running WWE.
I love it because I love Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah,
I liked
Roman
him
Reigns wasn't even on TV at all.
Sammy Uso runs WWE.
Sammy Uso. So we have the Brawling Brutes. So the Usos opened up both shows this week, defended their titles on both shows this week, and won very convincing fashion in both matches this week. What did you guys think of this opening match with Sheamus and Butch and the Usos?
Well, to take words out of Sheamus's mouth, it was a banger after banger after banger after banger.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
It was good to see Butch out there.
Yeah, and it was funny seeing that Butch do the what is that called? The beats of the Baldwin or whatever. Like, some scrawny little dude doing that move. That was funny. So the next thing is we have a little backstage angle with Kurt Angle and Gabe Steveson where they run it. It felt like like a cut scene from one of the video games. They run into Braun Strowman. And Braun's like, "Hey, man, I've heard good things about you at the Performance Center. Can't wait till you come up and maybe you can get these hands." It sounded like something right out of a video game. It's kind of goofy, but this is where they set up, letting us know it's Kurt's birthday in his hometown, and it's his birthday. So that's nice. And then we get LA Knight. Yeah.
It's good to see him on TV. Again, I used to watch him in Impact, and I loved him. He's one of the better guys on the mic. He's not the best, but he's one of the better ones. I knew him as Eli Drake. That's what I knew him.
I just want to bring the button back.
Yeah,
the dummy button.
I'm not familiar with Eli Drake or the dummy button, so maybe I'll have to check that out.
Trust me, the LA Knight thing, that's Eli Drake. That's where it came from, man.
Right on.
It's the same guy, different name.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yep.
So we get a little LA Knight thing. Then they seen us coming back in 3 weeks. That's the next promo package, and I'm guessing that means he's going to set up something for WrestleMania. And if I had to put money on it, I'd say it's against Austin Theory.
That's good money. I'll take that.
That's his job these days, is to put people over. So that's not unbelievable. Yep.
But the LA Knight promo wasn't his best. The one on Bray Wyatt, so it was kind of passable. And then there was this really weird ass women's backstage bit where Shotzi's hurt. Like, I guess they broke her hand or something. The Ronda and Baszler, and then they were gloating about it. And then Liv Morgan and was it Tegan Knox? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wrote, this is so terrible. I wrote, and some bitch I don't even know. So there's
man, that's just Tegan's much better than that.
Well, hopefully I'll get to know her because I'm not familiar with her. She was a tag team with Liv Morgan for a cup of coffee. That's the only thing I've ever seen her, and then she was gone.
She's an NXT talent from.
She was okay.
She had a really good blood feud with Dakota Kai in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But then, Vince cut her loose. Didn't get her.
Yeah. So then, after this little segment with the chicks, we get Legado del Fantasma with that fine honey, Selena Vega. Oh my God, she's so fucking hot, dude. I mean, sorry.
Don't let Malachi back here. He'll kick your head off.
Yeah, right. Right. They have a match with the Viking Raiders, who've got Valhalla, the former, what was her name? Logan something?
Yeah.
Sarah Logan. Yeah. And then I don't know. It was too short. It's too messy. Then the Hit Row come out at the end, causing a DQ finish. I don't know. I don't like these schmaltz finishes. What did you think about? I don't really like. I'm not really digging the repackaged Viking Raiders, and Hit Row is just not the same without Swerve. What do you guys think?
I have
Agree
never
on all
liked the Viking Raiders, so yeah, I've never been a fan.
Yeah,
They're just
BFAB.
big meat hooks.
Yeah,
That's all I get out of those guys.
But all this is it looks like they're setting up, Hit Row and the Viking Raiders. BFAB super kicks Valhalla as the guys destroy the rest.
I did like that Valhalla completely jumped on the back of Top Dollar and was just beating on him.
yeah.
I was laughing at that.
And then they cut back to some more LA Knight, Bray Wyatt. I put backstage BS. Not a fan. Get thoughts from guys. What did you guys think about it? But I don't know where they're going with this LA Knight, Bray Wyatt thing.
Well, they got to start somewhere. They can't just throw them right back into the title mix, and they're going to do that eventually.
I hope they don't. I don't think Bray Wyatt's a lot like the Undertaker.
Doesn't need the title.
He doesn't need the title. You're absolutely right. But they're going to eventually. Not now, but they're going to eventually. Like I said, they got to start with him somewhere. And LA Knight is a good, experienced wrestler for him to start with. But you're right. The promos for this are not. They're
not great. So we're getting into the last 10 minutes, so I'll try to hurry this up. The next thing is Imperium comes out so they can do the contract signing with Ricochet. Which I don't know why they had to do a contract signing. Aren't they just having a match on Smackdown next week or something? It's not a pay-per-view thing.
Because they need an excuse to throw a table.
I guess. So the New Day comes out. They interrupt a little bit. And it was funny because the line of the night is Xavier Woods goes, "Have you ever watched wrestling?" Like he literally says that. It's like, of course we're interrupting. Haven't you ever watched wrestling? And they say that Imperium can't perform. The big brawl ensues. And, now we have the New Day and Ricochet facing off against Imperium. And it was a good match. And the only thing I'm afraid of is Ricochet won. So now he's going to lose in his title match, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Well,
I love the push they're giving Ricochet. It's very
I do too. Yeah.
But Gunther, man, Imperium, they're pretty solid. I don't see Ricochet winning.
Yeah,
No.
Unfortunately, I love Ricochet, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Then I write down here, this is funny, stupid bullshit backstage garbage with the Alpha Academy. That's fine. Where they get shown up, shush. But they're basically pissed because they are not invited to the Kurt Angle backstage birthday bash or whatever. And now I wrote really big, Uso time. Sammy Uso is the best. I like the little trim it up. They're like, hey, Roman's going to be here next week. You need a little trim. Trim the beard, trim the hair. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen with that? Why do you think, I feel like a seed might be planting because if Sammy doesn't trim, is that going to be disrespecting the head of the table? Or
I feel like this is the official induction of Sammy Uso. No more honorary. No, he is an official Us.
Nice. Well, after that, we get another John Cena dun, 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 thing. And now we have Killian Cross visiting Rey Mysterio. I don't know about this. How I feel about this. Look at the time, Ray. TikTok. I don't know. It was weird. He was in a trainer's room or something like that. What do you think is going on?
I like Cross, so I mean he's
a Carrion. Is it Carrion? I said Killian, didn't I?
Yeah, Carrion Cross. He's a local guy. He's a Vegas boy, so
yeah.
He's better.
I'm just happy seeing him do good things.
Yeah,
but once again, he's another guy that they brought back, and he's got to start somewhere, right? So
yeah,
that's what they're doing.
So the next match or the next segment is a match. Well, kind of. This is where they did the weird production thing you were talking about, Johnny. So they introduced Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, but then they cut to a Lacey Evans vignette.
Oh God,
the millionth one of hers, and then they go back to this.
You know what the worst thing about that is? I'm going to go back to my military days. Every time I see those promos, I'm like, your hair's out of rags. You should have that up in a bun.
If you're gonna go the whole yards on something, it needs to be the military thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, she is a former Marine.
is.
I'm sorry, she is a Marine. Once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine.
Always a Marine.
But yeah, no, she knows full well that her hair, like the long ponytail, that's completely out of regulations. So if you're going to sell the gimmick, sell the gimmick.
I do like how it looks like they're doing some kind of partnership with the Marines, because they had down in the lower third a special thanks to the United States Marine Corps or something like that. I don't.
Yeah.
That was cool. But anyways, we're back to this Liv Morgan. This surprised me. The chick I don't know. What was her name again? Tegan Knox, right?
Tegan Knox. Yeah.
She won the damn match. She with the what they called it, the shiniest of wizards.
Shiniest wizard. That's
yeah.
It. That's a move, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they should be beating Ronda and Shayna. Those two should be like, we need to get the title off of Ronda. She needs more time on the mic, like learning, and I think the best use of her would be tag team champion with Shayna Baszler, and they just become this unstoppable killer force.
The Brock Lesnar's of the women's division.
They tried that. They tried that with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, and just did not.
Yeah, but Nia Jax is the shits, dude. Oh my god!
I actually like how they've brought back almost every woman that was released and is not signed to AEW except for Nia Jax.
Yeah, well, she's fucking terrible.
Nia stepped away from wrestling, so.
That's because no one would hire her.
Right. Yeah. And she's dangerous. I mean, just look at Becky. And now, to be fair, Becky should be kissing Nia's fist for the rest of her life.
So now
that's what put her over as the man right there.
So this is,
yep.
So this, I don't understand, but it is what it is. They announced that Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox are going to face Damage Control for the titles. So I guess, again, I feel like, I don't know. I think the titles.
I think they're messing the booking up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like they should have pulled the trigger on Bayley against Bianca, so that Damage Control would have all the belts. I like when factions hold the belts. I like when it's
kind of like the Bloodline right now.
Kind of like the Bloodline.
Yeah.
But do you want to do the same thing in both the men's and women's at the same time?
Right. No. Yeah. And that's probably why I got shot down. So the show ends with the Kurt Angle Attitude Era.
Boy, totally Attitude Era, including the milk truck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they got the milk truck, dusted off the mothballs, and got it out of the storage, and hosed down Alpha Academy. And then they chug milk like Stone Cold Steve, Angle and the kid. What's his name?
Otis.
No, Gable Steveson was with Kurt Angle.
Oh yeah,
that guy. So then they're doing the thing with milk, and they're ending
that
the
guy
show.
Needs a lot of work too.
I mean, he's in the PC right now, but that's SmackDown. That's the show. So you know what? Yeah, I'll save NXT for another day because
none of us watched it.
We only got like 2 minutes left, so I figure this is perfect. So, Burke, thank you so much for joining us today. Give us any kind of closing thoughts, and let the people know where they can find you on the socials.
No, yeah. Well, thank you guys again. I could only stay quiet during the WWE stuff, but you guys, gently leading me back into watch WB or not, we'll see. But no, I had a lot of fun. I don't need anybody following me on social. It's just my Instagram. But that's my Instagram and Twitter. I do nothing special, but I'm just there to hang out and follow. That's what's great about Twitter right now, or the social media, is that I can continue to follow different extra stuff from wrestling that doesn't have to do just WB or AEW. There's so much more extra stuff out there.
Which reminds me, I'm sorry, Joe. We were supposed to do State of the Apron. There's just too much damn wrestling on this week. So we're not going to, I promise you, this isn't going to be like in a Matt Damon getting bumped joke. I mean, we will eventually get to your State of the Apron.
I hear you, Jimmy. I hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be like Raw and go to a 3-hour format.
Oh God, no, no
absolutely
way.
not.
No. All right, Johnny. Closing thoughts, and let the people know where they can follow you on the socials, please.
You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at JohnnyRock28. Closing thought: Kurt Angle segment. They should have really made Chad Gable the illegitimate son.
Yeah, right.
I remember that from way back in the day. Yeah. Jason Jordan, actually, I forgot to mention, he did make an appearance on this episode.
He did.
Well.
He did.
Gave him a card or something.
Did he call him Dad? Was it a Father's Day card?
Yeah, it was like
a birthday card.
Dad thing.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Joe, the final thoughts, and let people know where they can find you on the socials.
That name right there, Joe's Atmosphere, on every social media. That's where you find me. Not hard to find. I usually show up on morning coffee shows with Pop Culture Minefield, and it's usually on Mondays and Tuesdays. Those are my open days. And
all right,
you're not going to see me again for a while, though. I am hip deep in Christmas time commissions, portrait art.
Get that shit done. All right, everybody. For the panel and everybody, we just want to say on behalf of Pop Culture Minefield, thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so there. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.
That was a good show, by the way.